Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim. Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, 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 hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat achim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Hine matov, hine matov. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see you all. I'm going to need everyone's help tonight. Rabbi Jurgen is sick. Cantor Berlin is on sabbatical. Our religious school director is sick. Sarah Planto and Aaron are holding it all together. So we really need you to sing with full hearts and celebrate Shabbat with us tonight. In this week's Torah portion by Yishlach, nope, that is the wrong intro. Okay, here we go. Different introduction. That's the wrong Torah portion. A young woman was sitting in the garden with her grandfather, talking of college, of career, and of life. I'm getting excellent grades, Papa, and my professors say I have a great future, but I'm not really very happy. I'm not sure who or what I want to be. Happiness is wholeness, like a perfect circle, her grandfather replied. But to be happy in life, you need one thing more. Then picking up a stone and a tree branch, he placed the stone down and drew a circle, using it as the center. When you have a steady center, then your circle will feel complete. But if the center is constantly shifting, no matter how high level the education or position, you will never really be able to finish the circle, especially with the world the way it is today, her papa continued. We all need to find what will be the anchor, what will define the center of our lives. This is the spiritual centering we seek each week. And this very Shabbat Vayishlach, not only our patriarch Jacob's struggle to find his true inner self, but our own self-discovery. We are united in our search for that sacred center around which we will build our own circles, which might someday make the whole world one. So as we turn to page 3 to welcome Shabbat with light, let us center ourselves, finding an intention for our worship tonight. It's my pleasure to call up Chantel and Chase Nassitz to lead our readings before we light our Shabbos candles.
these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God,
Sovereign
of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. We turn now to page 5 for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahavahu ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaser bereshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'sihat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mechadesh haShabbat. Okay. We did Kiddush earlier. We continue our service celebrating Shabbat with song. We turn to page 13 as we sing Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam u'meloho, 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 Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. 22, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezaver l'shimcha el yom לשמך העליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. We turn back to page 20 as we welcome the Sabbath bride singing Lecha Dodi. We sing verses 1 and 2, 5 and 9. And when we reach verse 9, Boiva Shalom, we rise as a congregation. We turn to face the entrance of our sanctuary, which, by the way, is over there. And we welcome that Sabbath spirit, that Shabbos bride, that will only come in if beckoned with our song and our spirit. So whether you're here with us in the Wolf Sanctuary or you're joining us on live stream in your own sacred space, know that your voice, your presence, your spirit, they count. And we need all of you to make Shabbat feel real. So sing with me. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Panay Shabbat, Nechavela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Panay Shabbat, Nechavela. Shamor v'zachor v'rimor achad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo achad, L'shem u'tiferet, v'lihitina lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nechavela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor haberacha, Merosh mikadem, Nesucha sof maseh, B'machshavat chila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nechavela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech, kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nechavela. Boiva Shalom, Atarabala, Gam Besimcha, U'Betzola, Toch Emune, Am Sekula, Boikala, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nechavela. Turn to those around you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Let them know you are glad they're here. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 26 as we remain standing through the Shema. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Ve'omad divrach cherutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayichon u'vyomechon U'v'chayenecha beit Yisrael B'chala b'chala U'mizman kariv Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mivarach le'olam alon me'hamaya yitbarach yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dechodesh barichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nachamata damina me'alma v'yimeru Amen. Page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed. We continue on page 30 with Ma'ariv Aravim as we praise God for the gift of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmeroteham barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 33, we read together. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gave to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Please turn to page 34 for the Shema.
Let
Please turn to page 36 for the Wehrhafte. And please be seated.
On the top of page 39, we read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Yeah, la 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 la, yeah, la 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 la, yeah, la 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 la, la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha na'etar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osef ela, Nora tehilot osef ela. Machatecha rachum anecha, Mokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. Yeah, la 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 la. ונאמר כי פן אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל. On page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch ata Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, V'shamru. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם.
Please turn to page 46 for the Amidah. And please write.
Adonai sifatartita uviagita gilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu v'Eloheinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Elyon, Goel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi'yudah Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozer Mashiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Ezrat Sarat. Atah Gibor Elam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah Mashiach, Mashiach HaRuach U'Marin HaGashem, Mechayeh Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh Hakol B'Rachamim Ramim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Folim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mechayeh Emunato L'Shnei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevurot, U'Midom Elav, Melech Menit U'Mechayeh, U'Matiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah Chayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shecha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom Elohecha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated.
Good job, everyone. the top of page 55, we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. On page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubts, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. On the top of 59, we read together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lechodot. And on page 61, we share in our prayer for peace together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Along with our prayers for peace in the world, we add prayers for healing, for the peace of body, mind, and spirit. If there's someone in your life in need of healing, someone you hold in your heart who's on your mind, I invite you to think about them now. Picture them, close your eyes if you wish, and whisper their names out loud. And so, strengthened by each other's presence, we offer prayers for healing. The words for Misha Berach can be found on page 253. Misha Berach avotenu mechor habracha lahimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheverach imotenu mekor habracha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Amen. We take a few moments now for our own personal thoughts and prayers for peace. Ose shalom bimroma. Oyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yasa shalom. Yasa shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom. Yasa shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom. Yasa shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom. Yasa shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yasa shalom. Yasa shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. In this week's Torah portion by Yishlach, Jacob and Esau reunite after many years. Jacob is concerned that his brother wants to hurt him and his family because Jacob stole Esau's birthright and the blessing of the firstborn. So Jacob offers many, many gifts to try and make things right. At first, Esau refuses, saying, "I have enough, my brother. Let what you have remain yours." But Jacob insists, saying, "No, I pray, if you would do me this favor, accept from me this gift, for to see your face is like seeing the face of God, and you have received me favorably. Please accept my present, which has been brought to you, for God has favored me and I have plenty." And when he urged him, he accepted. What does it mean to give a gift with little thought of anything in return? What is the value of giving something we love away because we know that someone else needs it more? There were once 3 brothers who loved adventure. They decided to go on 3 separate journeys in 3 separate directions and to meet again on a certain day 10 years later. Each brother was to bring back with him an unusual gift. After 10 years of travel, the oldest to the east, they returned. The oldest to the east, the middle to the west, and the youngest to the south. The brothers met as they had planned. Embracing with delight, each brother eagerly showed the others the unusual objects he had brought back from his journey. The oldest brother, on his voyage to the east, had come upon a magic glass through which he could see to the distant corners of the kingdom. The second brother, on his voyage to the west, had discovered a most special carpet that would take him wherever he wanted to go, and as fast as the wind. And the youngest brother had gone south, where he had seen a magical pomegranate tree covered with orange-red blossoms. Only one pomegranate hung from its branches, but as soon as that perfect fruit was plucked, another instantly burst from one of the blossoms. Sensing that this was no ordinary pomegranate, the youngest son brought it to his brothers as a most mysterious and new treasure. As the brothers shared their treasures and enjoyed each other's company, the oldest brother said, "Let me look through my glass and see what I can see." When he held up the glass, he saw in a far-off kingdom a young princess lying ill on her bed, near death. "Quickly, dear brothers, get on my magic carpet and we'll fly there," said the second brother. In what seemed like seconds, the 3 brothers arrived at the far-off kingdom. In the royal palace of this kingdom, the king, whose daughter was very ill, was grief-stricken. He had sent for every doctor and tried every cure, but nothing had helped. Finally, in desperation, the king had sent a messenger throughout the country saying, "Whoever can save my daughter, the princess, will have her hand in marriage and half my kingdom." As in a dream, the youngest brother heard a voice whisper inside of him, "The pomegranate." He approached the king and asked, "May I try to cure the princess?" The king agreed and led the young man to the princess's chambers. He approached the princess, he took the pomegranate from his pocket, cut it open with gentle care, and then fed the juicy red kernels to the princess. In a few moments, she felt stronger. The color returned to her cheeks, and soon she sat up in bed, fully restored to health. The king, overjoyed, hugged his daughter and announced, "The man who saved my daughter will marry her." Well, the brothers, who loved each other, began to quarrel. The oldest brother said, "If it was not for my magic glass, we would never have known the princess was ill in the first place. I deserve to marry the princess." The second brother said, "But it was because of my magic carpet that we arrived so quickly. Otherwise, the princess would have died. I deserve to marry the princess." Then the youngest brother said, "Yes, but it was my magic pomegranate that actually healed the princess. I deserve to marry her." The brothers could not decide, and the king could not decide, but the princess could. "Who do you think I should marry?" She responded by saying, "I will ask each of them a question." She turned to the oldest brother and asked, "Has your magic glass changed in any way since you arrived in our kingdom?" "No," the oldest brother replied. "My glass is the same as always. Through it, I can see to every corner of the kingdom." Next, she turned to the second brother and asked, "Has your magic carpet changed in any way since you arrived in our kingdom?" "No," replied the second brother. "My carpet is the same. I can fly anywhere on it, as always." Finally, she turned to the youngest brother and asked, "Has your magic pomegranate changed in any way since you arrived in the kingdom?" "Yes, my princess," he replied. "My pomegranate is no longer whole, for I gave a portion of it to you." The princess turned to the three young men and said, "I will marry," can you guess? Thank you. Okay, good. I was just checking to see if they were paying attention. "I will marry the youngest brother because though you all helped save my life, he gave up something of his own, which is the greatest good deed of all." And the brothers and the king understood how wise that princess was. It can be so hard to give up something that is precious to us, yet when we do it with an open heart, we get other gifts in return. The prince and the princess understood this, though giving of your heart will not necessarily mean you marry a prince or a princess or get half of the kingdom, but being generous is not only about giving easily, it's about giving because others need it more than we do, and about using the gifts we have to make other people's lives better. So whether we have magic glass or a magic carpet or a magic pomegranate, whether we own the riches of half a kingdom or only have our own hearts to share, every single one of us is able to give in a way that can make another person whole. Amen. We're going to continue with the concluding portion of our service. Aleinu is on page 283, and I'd ask you all to please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'chol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שמח אלוקינו לייחד את שמו, וגואר עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. As we turn to page 289 for memorial meditation number 2, we note with sadness the death of Sandra Wolf, mother of Kim Wolf and Jason Bishop, Lonnie and Lenora Wolf and Barry Wolf, grandmother of Halen, Asher, and Siri Bishop, Rachel Wolf, and sister-in-law of Barbara Wolf, as well as numerous nieces and nephews and cousins in the Wolf and Shadanoff families. Funeral services are pending at this time. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. On this Shabbat, we consecrate the yard sites observed in our congregation this week of Melvin Abramson, Rose Alden, Samuel Barshop, Milton Braun, Ann Brenner, Erlene Burris, Irene Poland Cohen, Lionel K. Dalkowitz, Elvira Real Downing, Esther Eklov, Caroline Farkas, Charles C. Feldman, Fela Jacobowitz Fernstemacher, Eva Fisher, Sherry Goldstone, Gwen Cohen Goldstein, Sue Greenblum, Moisha Gurovich, Sarah Gerwitz, Rose H. Harrison, Betty Lindheim Hilton, William Jesse Hockersmith, E.J. Jody Hoffer, Irene Isa, Blanche Johnson, Maurice Julius, Ruth Dietz Kirby, Amalie L. Amy Kopel, Cecilia Landy, Lorraine Lauderstein, Brenda Margie Lebo, Natalie Levin, Arthur Levy, Diana Novi Lown, Francis Michael, Joseph Saul Mindus, Stanley A. Mindus, Lizer Musin, Abraham Lewis Newmark, Betty Osmatz, James Anton Patterson, William Pinansky, Isidore Portnoy, Charles Carsey Rado, Robert Rich, Sybil Rosenman, Abraham Sandfield, Theo Schrader, Trudy Selig, Sydney Sirota, Ruth Setters, Carrie Arbiter Mir Shapiro, Elizabeth Simon, Wilma Simpson, Troy Allenstein, Samuel Wagner Stewart, Paul Verrett, Esther H. Wangar, Bonnie Wallace, and Leon C. Sonny Wolf, Jr. To their memories, we link the names of those who, in the last 30 days, Shloshim, have been laid to their eternal rest. Dr. Leonard Seidner, Doug Campbell, Jerry Rice, Aline Spanier, Anna Rado, and Ephraim Graff. And to their memories, we link the names of 2 who this past week passed away, their families observing the period of Shiva. We remember Marjorie Gernsbacher, mother of Temple members Claudia and Donald Bankler, and Susan and Lauren Siegel, grandmother of Temple members Scott and Dr. Jennifer Bankler, Courtney and Greg Gernson-Haber, Lisa and Sean Schlugen, Stuart Siegel, Sarah and Mark Anthony Delgado, Alexis and Stefan Heiniger, and Ryan Gernsbacher, great-grandmother of 9, and aunt to many nieces and nephews. We also remember Linda Rogers, sister of Calvin Hammock and Clarence Dickinson. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing, along with the memories of those that we each hold in our own hearts each and every day. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise together, one congregation, turning to page 294 to share in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'almad divrach cheruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol b'it Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei d'kudashah b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nachamata, da'amiram be'alma, v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. It's my pleasure to call up our Temple President, Debbie Roos, to share greetings, words of wisdom, and announcements.
I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm so glad you could join us in our sanctuary or in your own sacred space. The last 2 weeks, I've spent quite a bit of time getting our new interim executive director, Eric Reinecker, up to speed. While he is a smart, kind, and gifted administrator, he is new to this role, our initiatives and issues, our people, and to Judaism. It's been fascinating and fun to explain this sacred institution from a layperson's perspective. While most organizations have acronyms and shortcuts for accelerating communication, I have found myself instinctively leveraging one of our most powerful yet inconspicuous devices, Yiddish. Each time this happens, Eric looks appropriately confused, and I do my best to translate. But it's not just me. Other congregants and leaders have added to Eric's lexicon over the last 10 work days as well. On Eric's Yiddish vocabulary list so far are mensch, mishpacha, altakaker, and my favorite, baba maisa. I'm sure we'll quickly get to nosh, oive, schlep, and chutzpah. I don't want to make him mashugana by throwing too much at him anytime too soon. As it is, we're already a lot. I say all this not only to share my excitement and humor over Eric's early days, but also to remind us about the magic of our tradition, even the culturally informal stuff that is found nowhere in our prayer book or the Torah scrolls. Yiddish is just one of the things that glues us together throughout the world, hopefully throughout the generations, and for sure through our synagogue. So go pull out a few of your favorite Yiddish phrases, find even the off-color ones, and see what happens. You might get a little verklempt as they might remind you of your Bubby or your Zadie, but you'll have me cavelling over the fact that you're continuing one of our greatest traditions and modeling what it means to be a great ancestor. I'd like to thank all who participated in our service tonight, because otherwise Rabbi Nathan would have been very lonely up here all by herself, especially our amazing 5th graders and Chantel and Chase Nassitz for lighting our candles. Here are some of the upcoming events at Temple. On Sunday, December 11th from 9:30 to 11, please join us for our Sunday Scholar Series with Rachel Stern. This will be part 2 of her What is Real Judaism and Who Gets to Decide learning series. Jewish traditions, rites, and rituals have been in a constant state of evolution from the beginning of time. How do we decide what new rituals make sense and which traditional ones we might want to reconsider? Our SVPs are requested. Also on Sunday, December 11th, join us for Hanukkah in the Hall. This amazing Hanukkah shopping mecca will be open during and right after religious school. Check out all the fun Hanukkah decorations, ritual items, and awesome gifts. There's still time to volunteer for the First Responders Meal on Saturday, December 25th. We currently need donations of groceries and financial support for this project. This year, we are feeding over 1,000 people, so everything really does help. Travel to Israel with us March 6th through the 16th of 2023. This is an interfaith trip led by Rabbi Nathan and Reverend Beth Knowlton from St. Mark's Episcopal Church. There will be opportunities to discuss the complex social, religious, political, and security issues of the region. There's an information session this Sunday from at 11:30 on Zoom. The link to register for that meeting was in the weekly email, or you may contact Rabbi Nathan. For information about the trip and to register, please go to j2adventures.com. Everything going on at Temple is listed on our website calendar and in our weekly email, which should arrive in your inbox around 4 p.m. every Thursday. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, fifth graders, come on back up. It's unscripted, but it's gonna be okay. Come on. Our closing song is Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. It is on page 353, and everyone should rise. I know, but I'm like very lonely up here. 353. Od Yavo, you know it. It's fine. Even if you don't, I just need to come with you. Okay. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam. Shalom. Let's hear it, guys. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all. Shabbat Shalom, Jean.